I'm Imagine Rigney, and this is the Bioshock Remastered build that I was actually contacted by 2K to build for them, sort of as a promotional thing for the Bioshock Collection Remastered Edition game that was coming out a while back. I decided to bring it along to Brickworld primarily because it was one of the few things I still had together. Everything else, right now I'm doing a whole lot of various commissions for various
people and organizations?
Yes, there you go. Those things. It was a late night last night. 2K contacted me asking if I could do something for the edition, and I actually made a handful of various instructions for a bunch of builds I've done before, some small Bioshock related stuff, but they wanted something kind of big and over the top. And for whatever reason, I do big and over the top builds. Not by choice. I just kind of can't.
They just end up that way.
Yeah, I just keep building. And they wanted to incorporate their logo somehow. They threw out a couple ideas, and I suggested and explained to them that near on 6 years ago, I want to say, I did a Bioshock Rapture build, which is actually still here. It's these two buildings here and here. And I said, why don't I just build onto that and do a redo of my old Bioshock build, like you're doing a remastering of the game. And they actually liked that idea. So I ended up taking my existing buildings, and I created some really cool scenes in them way back when, but you can never see them. So I decided to split them in half, so you can actually see the scenes I did in them.
There's a super detailed interior there.
Yeah, and I did that many, many years ago when I was first starting to build, but nobody was able to see it because they were quite literally enclosed. Because I wanted to go for accuracy at the time. So
you can take us through some of the rooms then and some of the scenes you incorporated in there?
Yeah, totally. So the very first room, that was the first room I built near on 6 years ago, and I wanted to make it look like one of the old Bioshock fisheries that had been, one of the windows had been smashed and some of the debris is now in the room and it's sort of all floating around. So, simple stuff. It was the first room I ever tried. So it's kind of all rubbly, not super impressive. The next room I wanted to be one of the entrance halls, either to one of the doctor's offices or one of the various many places in Rapture. There's quite a few setups like this. And then the next room above that would be the flooded doctor's office. And you run into quite a few doctor's offices in the game, because there's dentists, it's quite literally a living city, but they're one of the very, very many creepy locations in the game. So, and then the back rooms there are just various sort of random locales. I mostly just wanted to be able to split the back room, the back building as well. So, and then on the other side, it also opens up. And there are a few more iconic locations in this one. We have a lower, on the bottom, it's a boiler room. That was the second room I built when I was building this long ago. And I wanted just to feature the Big Daddy and Little Sister, because they're very iconic characters. The next room above that was from a location in the game called Fort Frolic. Fort Frolic is sort of the hip part of Rapture, where all the artists go. There's stage performances, there's movie theaters, there's record stores, what have you, and a very, very insane individual of this group, sort of the head artist, what have you, who's obsessed with rabbits and is quite very insane and creates living artwork out of people he has killed. But we don't need to go into that. And the last room is Arcadia. And I actually am missing a figure up there. I don't remember where I put him, but and Arcadia was designed to be a sort of a natural escape for people that more or less trapped within this underwater city, and it was done up as an almost Asian-style tea garden, which was really quite pretty in the game, and a very stark contrast to all the very Art Deco atmosphere that the game portrays. So long ago I wanted to capture all those elements, but like I said before, they were really hard to see because the building was sort of encapsulating that. So when they contacted me about that, I saw an opportunity to sort of go back in and redo a lot of things that I clearly didn't have either the parts or the skill level to do 6 years ago, back when I was like 14 or 15. So when this build was originally made. And then I also wanted to, as they had asked, they wanted me to incorporate the logo of the collection. So I quite literally went in and looked at the box art they had created, the new logo, and tried to replicate it as closely as I could. Albeit moving the buildings to the top, because I can't just have magically floating buildings around the display, unfortunately. I don't quite have that capability yet, if anyone does. So.
Well, very cool. It's really great. And then this middle section here, what kind of is in that section?
In that section, you can't really see it all that well from the front. You'll be able to see it a whole lot better during the World of Lights. Okay. And when I built it long ago, that's what I intended, was for this display to be seen in the World of Lights, because all the rooms are very well lit, albeit creepily so. And that is a bathysphere chamber, the top level there. In fact, I built a few components exclusive to add to it for Brickworld, the bathysphere being one of those. So the bathysphere chamber in the front, there's a confrontation with a Big Daddy and a handful of splicers. And going down, those rooms aren't all that well built out because we almost always have a television behind the largest display for gamer luck. So ultimately, my large builds are just here to hide the television. In fact, you can see the individuals in question there currently playing Dark Souls.
A really important part of the gamer luck display.
Absolutely, yeah. This is just the facade. Everything that's fun happens behind it. Yeah.
We just bring massive builds to cover up your game.
Shh, there's no TV back there. Just look at the pretty build. Don't look behind the build. Don't look behind the curtain. All right.
Exactly. Well, this is very cool, and I appreciate you powering through your lack of sleep here at the Tyrant Show to talk to us about it.
It was a late night with Cards Against Humanity.